Deeply involved in one of Asia's biggest non-profit charities, she also juggles the tasks of homemaker, grandmother and social worker. Her organization is responsible for helping many, from infants to people with special needs. Her influence and drive bring help to the helpless, reaching far and wide. ETV Power Women is proud to present Neeta Ariyaratne. Hi and welcome to ETV Power Women. Today on the show we have a very special guest with us. I think somebody who's inspired a lot of women. She's been dedicated and devoted in the field of charity. I'm really very honoured to have Mrs. Neeta Ariyaratne on the show with us today. Neeta, I'm just going to ask you straight away. I mean, you're the vice president of, I think, one of Sri Lanka's biggest charitable organisations, and you're also a homemaker. How do you find the time to sort of combine the two? I mean, you know, Sarvodaya is huge and you have so many different things and so many different aspects that you're involved in it.
We have been always living in the same complex, Sarvodaya and my home.
Right.
So that I think made everything sort of easier. So we are in the same complex. But of course, work-wise, it's sometimes 24 hours.
Yeah, I can imagine it.
Because for everything, when I am there, then I have to see that everybody's needs are met. Yes.
Great. What would you say is a typical day? What's a typical day like for you?
Usually I get up quite rather early, around 5:30.
Yeah.
And then I get ready, and of course I love gardening.
Right. Okay.
So I, with some girls in the vocational training center, the disabled girls and deaf and dumb girls, they come to the Sarvodaya headquarters to do a little bit of cleaning. So I join them for about one hour, 1.5 hours, doing the gardening. And then, of course, I have a helper to help me in the kitchen, but I always go there and help her with the preparation of breakfast and lunch, sometimes for my children to take to their office. Then around 9 o'clock, when the offices are opened, then I have to sign daily letters and replies, draft the letters and send it to the office. Of course, the main organization, though I work as the vice president, I have very little sort of administration work.
Right.
But where Sarvodaya Suwaseta, the welfare division is concerned, I have a lot of correspondence. So I attend to that, but while staying at home, I don't go to the office.
Okay.
So my the household work do not get disturbed by the office activity. So my dining table, I use it for my office also, and with the computer, and I have a steno who is helping me with my computer and typing and all that. Fantastic. So the daily, and then of course sometimes I have to attend meetings. I don't come to Colombo I have now given up all this committee serving in committees, because traveling from Moratuwa to Colombo, it takes a long time. So I have now avoided participating in other organizations, except I am one of the board members of SOS villages.
Yes.
So it's easier for me to attend the meetings because the headquarters is in Piliyandala.
Right,
so only that responsibility I am holding at the moment.
Did you always know that this type of work was something that you wanted to do? I mean, as a child?
Yes, while I was a student, especially during my school days at Museus College, I wanted to help other people.
Right.
and then especially as a girl guide at museums, we used to do a lot of social work, like visiting the hospitals. And then of course in 1960 I happened to visit, 1959, happened to visit one of the projects organized by the Sarvodaya, that is Nalanda College. Of course, during my childhood days, I like to help people. I had that intention, yes. Always I wanted to help somebody. So I think that was there from my school days.
You and your husband started doing all of this together. I mean, can you just tell us a little bit about maybe the history behind it?
It just happened with my neighbor, a lady who was at that time the mayor of Kuliyapitiya. We thought we will one day visit this project in Manawa. That was the second work camp, Shramadana camp. So we happened to visit the camp just to have a look what they were doing. So then there, of course, I met Dr. Ari. At that time he was a teacher. Then of course we both of us like to
was it love at first sight?
Yes, that's
it was. Oh, fantastic! Yes. Oh, wow.
Then of course in 1960, after 1 year, after one and a half years, we got married. And then I left school and got married, and then started the family. But I was always helping him in building up the movement.
Which is
now we celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary last July.
Congratulations! How lovely! How lovely!
And children also grew up with the movement. So that's how our son, Dr. Vinya, later he took over the sort of the responsibility of the movement, as my husband is now sort of almost retired.
On that note, we're going to have to take a little break, but for all you viewers at home, don't forget to come back after the break, because we've got more from the fascinating Mrs. Neeta Ariyaratne. See you soon. Hi, and welcome back to ETV Power Women. I've been chatting with Mrs. Neeta Ariyaratne. Neeta, tell me, Sarvodaya has so many different components, different arms of Sarvodaya. Could you just tell us a little bit about each one of them?
Yes, under the Sarvodaya main umbrella, there are several independent units. So Suwaseta was the first to be independent. Under the main umbrella. Of course, we have registered under the society ordinance. So it's called Sarvodaya Suwaseta Seva Society. All activities pertaining to welfare comes under Sarvodaya Suwaseta. So the homes for old people, running of maintaining homes for the orphan children, then disabled children, then we have a community-based CBR project for the disabled communities in Galle and Kalutara districts. Special home for the teenage mothers, which we started about 10 years back. So all those homes come under Suwaseta. And sometimes we get involved with the Sarvodaya, the main organization, with regard to relief and rehabilitation for the war victims, or whatever the natural calamities like tsunami.
How hard is it to get funding? I mean, you know, for all the different projects that you do.
It has become very, very difficult now, finding resources.
To manage your project?
For the last maybe 25 years, we were okay. We had a very good sort of funding organization from Switzerland called Noartis. They were funding a few homes of Suwaseta. So with that, and also with the local contributions, we were able to run smoothly all the institutions, the homes. But after about 10 years, they changed their policy. As companies, they changed their the policies. So then they stopped funding.
Right.
Then we are now facing a big crisis to maintain these homes. Of course, we get the normal grants that is given by the social service department or the probation and child care.
Yeah.
But that maintenance grants come only after 1 year.
Okay.
So we have to wait for 1 year and then apply for those grants. And it's a very minimum amount. Per child. We get 600 rupees per month per child.
My goodness.
For maintenance. But we have to spend for a school going child, we have to spend about 3,000 to 4,000 rupees for their food and education. And sometimes those who are sitting for exams like O-level, A-level, we need to give them extra tuition.
Yeah.
So my biggest the challenge now I'm facing is to find resources. Even for me to get away and retire from this work now, it's a little difficult because I can't just leave and so I'm now struggling hard to writing projects and trying to get donors to contribute.
I also wanted to ask you, now you have 6 children.
Yes.
Right? And are they all involved in some way?
In some way, yes. Only Vinya is sort of full-time involved. Yeah. But all the others in their own sort of specialized fields, they contribute. They volunteer. They have their own jobs.
Yeah.
Our daughter, eldest daughter, is a lawyer, and so she's helping. She was the one who initiated this teenage mothers home, being a child rights lawyer. We have 3 sons and 3 daughters, and another son who is a captain working for Qatar Airways.
Okay, fantastic.
So he's the sort of whenever I find the financial difficulties, he helps me with the home management and all that.
Fantastic.
Then we have another 2 daughters. They are of course looking after their families, but the second daughter, she helps the running of the Vishwaniketan Peace Center.
Okay.
So she manages that, and youngest daughter is also a mother herself. So but they always
find time to
their time to come and help me with the work and help father in his work.
We've got to take another little break, but for all of you at home, we're going to be back very soon with a lot more interesting chat with Mrs. Neeta Ariyaratne. So we'll see you after this break. Hi and welcome back to ETV Power Women. So tell us a little bit about your childhood. What were you like as a child?
Ours was a very simple lifestyle, my parents. And my father was a professional photographer, and he had his own studio. Yeah. So in my family, we were 5 girls in the family. Okay. So 5 of us grew up together, 5 sisters. Yeah. And in a village, very rural atmosphere. Right. And I attended the village school. We used to walk about 1 mile to we didn't have a car at the very beginning. Yeah. So it was a very simple village life.
And then you came to Colombo to school. You went to
up to 5th standard I was in village school. Yeah. Then my father was very keen that I should learn a little more English. Right. So he sent me to Maliyadeva Girls College, Kurunagala, and I was there for 3 years till grade 8. And then again my father thought that I should go join a school in Colombo. Yeah. So he applied to Musaeus College. And then I got through the entrance. There was an entrance examination at that time. Yeah. And I joined Musaeus College, which I really enjoyed.
Your time there?
Yes, for 5-6 years I was at Musaeus.
Okay. Now, I spoke to you earlier about this, and you did say when you first saw Dr. Ariyaratne, it was love at first sight, and you were married at 19 years old.
Right.
I mean, tell us a little bit about that time. I mean, it must have been, you know, very
Yes,
exciting.
at the beginning, of course, it was quite difficult because raising a family and started with the first child was born in 1961.
Right.
Then, of course, we had 6 children, 3 girls and 3 boys. So while bringing up the children, engaging in this type of work, it was a challenge, like.
Must have been
But
very
still, it was not that difficult because we were living in the same complex.
Yeah.
That was the main reason. And also, my husband used to travel inside the country as well as abroad. So during that time, I had to look after the children and everything. He hardly had any time to devote for the children. So, but he gave all the sort of moral support. When my 4th child was born, he was in Puerto Rico. He was not even in the country. So going to the doctors, everything I had to do with his mother, of course. His mother, my mother-in-law was there to help me.
It's amazing actually how much work you've done and how you've managed to raise an incredible family. I understand that you have 11 grandchildren now as well.
Yes. Now so all the children, all 6 children have daughter, son, except one son.
Right.
So we have 11 grandchildren, and our eldest grandson is now married, so we may have any moment the next generation.
And also, you know, while I think it's fabulous what you're doing and how many lives you've changed, have you ever sort of been sad? There must have been times where you've met a child or a teenage mother and you felt sort of quite sad.
There had been many instances. One instance I remember, there was one little baby who was brought to the nutrition center. She was found abandoned on a street.
Right.
And this girl was brought up and then she grew up in another home. And she said she somehow, all the time she was telling that she wants to find my mother. And finally she got so sort of frustrated and then she ran away. Ran away and then she got mad. Then she was telling, if I can't find my mother, I will also raise a baby and just throw that baby away.
Goodness, wow.
So that was a very sad situation. Now she is legally married and she has another child. Right. But that sort of stories we come across.
Right, so after this little break, we've got some of your friends and family who tell us a bit more about who you really are. So we've got that coming up after this short break, so make sure you don't go anywhere and we'll see you soon. Hi and welcome back to ETV Power Women. We've come to my favorite part of the show where we get to show you a little video clip of some of your friends and family, and they talk about you and they tell us, you know, what they feel and what they think about you. And I think it's always really touching, so it really is my favorite part of the show. So why don't we take a quick look at it now?
She's a lead of us. Actually, she is the founder of Sarvodaya Seva Society. And when I joined Sarvodaya in 2000, and I learned a lot of from her because she is a mother to all of us who are working in Sarvodaya as well as who are working for Sarvodaya Society. And also she is giving a good guidance for me because I am working as a director now for this section. And she is I think she is a mother to all of us as well as for all of children who are living in children homes. And she is a sister for everybody who are living in elders' homes and everywhere in all communities in the country. She is actually kind-hearted and very helpful, as well as she can understand our feelings and our thoughts and everything. And I had to say she's a nice person for everybody. She is like very supportive, and she always recognizes my feelings, and always thing is she always think, and if I don't have any courage or anything, always say, don't worry Bianca, I'm behind you, I'm with you. Like that way she's always encouraged me very well.
She's not just a mother for us, the 6 children, but I think she's a mother for many generations now. Probably 3 generations have been inspired and cared by her. And of course the movement that my father built is now serving millions of people. If not for my mother, I don't think he would have achieved what he had achieved. And she was not just a wife or a mother, but she was a life partner for my father. She believed very much in the vision that my father believed in. So they were a team. So whatever they achieved together was of course possible because of the balance that my mother brought in to the family. She was remarkable in that sense that she was able to, on one hand, contribute to the mission of my father and build this Sarvodaya movement, but at the same time bringing us up and also caring and making sure that all 6 of us really found success in our lives.
In the latter half of the 1950s, there were 2 girls at Musaeus College who were exceptionally well known for their very long hair. One was me, I was known as Padma at that time, and the other one was Neeta Dhammachari. I had my hair in 2 long plaits, and Neeta had 1 long plait which we used to call a pigtail. She, of course, we did everything together in school. We were in the same class, same dormitory, same schoolhouse, and even in the same guide company. She, of course, was a very bright student, and I must say that she had lovely Sinhala handwriting. You know, we call it like Muttukata. And she used to write lovely verses, and most of the time the teachers got her to read her essays to the class because they were very well written. Also had good leadership qualities, I must say, and she was a very good organizer. Whether it's a midnight feast or a house drama or a field trip, she was the one who would organize things for us. She was actually instrumental in organizing the first guide camp in a rural village called Manawa. And this was a very remote village and with underprivileged community. At that time we used to call them low caste underprivileged community. And this was the first time that a set of young girls from a Colombo school had visited this village. At this camp, we met Ari for the first time. Of course, we knew that Ari was a regular visitor to the Musaeus hostel, and Neeta used to share all the nice kavis or the verses that he used to write to her. She's a wonderful person, a good friend, a good mother, and a good wife.
So it's really lovely. They've had just the most beautiful things to say about
when
you.
Padma was the first in class, then I was the second.
Okay.
If I am the first,
She
Padma
was
was
the second.
the second.
Well, we've got to take another little break, but when we come back, I've got some questions for you. I'm going to put you on the spot. So for all of you at home, make sure you tune into that after this break, and we'll see you soon. Hi and welcome back to ETV Power Women. Now, Neeta, I'm going to put you on the spot here and ask you some questions. I just want, the first sort of thing that pops into your head, just let me know what it is. So, you ready to start? Yeah? Okay. Question number 1. Who's your greatest inspiration?
Mahatma Gandhi.
Okay. What's the biggest thing that you've learned from your children?
As a mother, I feel care and love given to the children will benefit their lives as well as our own lives.
If you could choose a different profession, something different to than what you're doing today, what would it be?
Any profession that will help other people. I wanted to become a doctor.
Okay.
So that was my wish.
If I gave you $1 million, what would you do with it?
I will put it in investment, and maybe this Suaseta work we can carry on with the interest when we are no more there.
What's your view on divorce?
I feel it's a terrible situation, especially for the children.
What would you do if you suddenly lost everything that you had?
I will be the same, because I know Anitya. I understand every impermanence.
What's your favorite thing in the whole world?
I love children.
Okay. What would you say is your biggest weakness?
Maybe too sensitive.
Okay. And if you could meet anyone in the world, dead or alive, who would it be and what would you say to them?
It's a difficult
question. It's a tough one, right?
Tough one, yes,
I kind of put you on the spot there with that. If you were stranded on a desert island, what 3 items would you take with you?
At that moment, I don't know what I will feel. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, unfortunately, we've kind of come to the end of the show, but I really must say I'm just very, very happy that I got to meet you, and very happy that we got to have this chat. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here today. So thank you for taking the time to come and be with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
For giving me the opportunity.
No, but it was really very, very, I think the work that you're doing is so inspiring. It's really been a pleasure to have you here. Thank you once again for being on the show. And for all of you watching at home, we will be back again next week with another very special guest. So make sure that you tune in. And until then, goodbye. Thank you again. Bye.